Welcome to the third posting of Fight the Texas Driver Responsibility Law. If you haven't had a chance to, please look at the first and second YouTube postings. It's going to give you a lot of information. What I'm going over today is how the Texas Driver Responsibility Law versus the Texas Constitution. And I do want to thank Helena Biscuit and Samara for supplying the information today. If you want to know what I'm looking at, go to the MySpace page. I'll repost it in the blog section. The Constitution of 1876 is very lengthy, so thank you guys again for your help. We, as a state of Texas, we're awesome and we rock. We are a free and we are an independent state, and we are only regulated by the United States Constitution. Basically, it indicates that all free men and women have equal rights and that the writ of habeas corpus could not be suspended or unduly delayed. Alright, let's hop into our Texas Constitution, Article 1, Section 13, and this is our Bill of Rights. Excessive bail or fines, cruel and unusual punishment shall not be imposed and remedied by due course of law. Basically, guys, I don't know about you, but the excessive bail or fines, the very definition of surcharge is excessive. If you open your Webster's dictionary or Google the definition, the noun version of surcharge, it's either the second or the third definition, it indicates that the definition of surcharge is excessive. So the Texas DRL defines the surcharge as a surcharge fee. It's not a tax, it's not a debt, it's not a fine. They indicate it as a fee to your guilty verdict. So that is how they get away with it. The Texas DRL does not define the surcharge as excessive. However, the very definition of surcharge is excessive. So that's kind of where it's a little confusing right there. If you know this information, or if you are an attorney and you know the difference and how they can or cannot get away with it, please let me know. I would appreciate it. As far as cruel and unusual punishment goes, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but in the 4 years that they never contacted me for this surcharge, the Texas DPS let me renew my driver's license in June of 2006. In July of 2006, I received a speeding ticket. I just moved back from Florida. I made a stupid mistake and I did not realize that on the highway it squashed from 70 to 55. That was my stupidity and I paid my ticket. I didn't get hit with the surcharge because of that, because ironically, if you speed, which is one of the major killing causes in Texas other than alcohol, it's not that big of an offense to them. Alright, so I took care of my ticket. Judge never said anything. Nobody had a problem. Nobody ever said that I was in the surcharge program until December of 2007, when I got the letter in the mail telling me to pay or else. Many of you out there didn't even get the courtesy of a letter. They didn't even send you anything and just assumed that you would know to pay your surcharge. And when you didn't, the Texas DPS suspended your license without you knowing about it. Therefore, when you got pulled over and the police officer ran your driver's license, it came up as suspended. There have been hundreds of you out there who have told me that you had no clue. You never got the surcharge notice. Maybe you were driving your kids to school or your husband to work and you got a little, you had a little traffic pullover and they ran your driver's license and immediately arrested you because your driver's license was suspended and you had no idea. Therefore, cruel and unusual punishment, I think if we band together as Texans, we might get that one to stick. Never know. On Article 1, Section 14, our Bill of Rights for double jeopardy, no person for the same offense shall be twice put in jeopardy of life or liberty. Now here's where the Texas DRL gets away with double jeopardy. Texas DRL is not finding you guilty twice. It is a surcharge fee that is added to your guilty verdict. So it's not like they're saying you were found guilty in a court of law, we resaw your case and we found you guilty too. Pay us the surcharge. They didn't do that. You were found guilty in a court of law once, and because of that, that is where the fee comes in. So technically, the Texas DRL does get away with double jeopardy. You're not being found guilty twice. You're being fined twice, or excuse me, you have an excessive fine, but it's not finding you guilty twice. On Article 1, Section 3A, equality under the law, basically, equality under the law shall not be denied or abridged because of sex, race, color, creed, or national origin. This amendment is self-operative. I believe that I'm truly being discriminated against because Why was my ticket, driving without car insurance, and people who drive without valid driver's license, why are we grouped with driving while intoxicated? Driving while intoxicated is a serious offense in Texas. It is one of the main causes of deadly traffic accidents. That and speeding. Why are we grouped there? And why isn't speeding grouped with DWIs? They're the two biggest killers on the Texas roads. Why aren't they grouped together? I don't understand it. It's like putting a white-collar criminal who embezzled money because he desperately needed to pay his family in with a mass murderer. It's basically taking the sentence of a mass murderer and giving it to a white-collar criminal. Why do you do that? It's harsh and it's severe and it needs to be changed. Article 1, Section 18 is imprisonment for debt. The Texas DRL gets away with that because you're not technically being imprisoned for debt. You are technically being imprisoned for an invalid driver's license. Okay, say for example you're driving on the road and you have not paid your surcharge either knowingly or unknowingly. Officer runs your driver's license for a minor traffic violation, finds you as suspended, and he arrests you. On your police report or on your arrest ticket, it's not going to indicate that you were imprisoned for not being able to pay your surcharge. It's going to be noted that you drove with an invalid driver's license. So, therefore, you're not being imprisoned for the debt. And technically, the surcharge is not a debt. But it is when the collection agency gets involved, because the collection agency considers you the debtor and them as the creditor. I guess technically they wouldn't be the creditor, but that is how the collection agencies consider it. You are the debtor. They are collecting a debt, and any information that they obtain is only used for that purpose. That is a mini Miranda, and that is what they must give you to legally collect that debt. Therefore, when your surcharge fee does go to the collection agency, obviously then it's a debt. However, nobody has ever been imprisoned, thank God, at that point. So that's where they get away with it. Article 1, Section 2 is inherent political power, Republican form of government. Which this is great. All political power is inherent in the people, and all free governments are founded on their authority and instituted for their benefit. The faith of the people of Texas stands pledged to the preservation of a Republican form of government and subject to its limitation only. They have at all times the inalienable right to alter, reform, or abolish their government in such manner as they may think expedient. Yeah, I think we're going to exercise our right. Thank you guys very much for taking a look at the post. If you haven't seen on the MySpace page, on Friday, July 25th, I will be having a meeting with Kyle Mitchell, a liaison with Governor Rick Perry's office in the Texas DPS. If they let me videotape that appointment, I will post it on YouTube so that way you guys can see it. If they don't let me post the appointment, I'm going to go on ahead and, of course, and just bring it to you about what happened. And thank you very much for the news stations and the radio stations that have responded to the emails sent in regards to the appointment. We really do appreciate your support, and we appreciate you getting our story out there and letting Texans make the decision on this and giving it our right to repeal it. Thank you very much again for your time. To the supporters and everybody, check out the MySpace page, sign the petition, and let's repeal the Texas Driver Responsibility Law. Thanks, guys.